So I've got a condition code to play the new Kings Canyon course one time before it comes out officially. So I thought I would share that. Never seen this course before. And then let's see what we've got. I'm going to be playing it with Cosmos. Think I'm just going to probably just start with my standard bag. Obviously, no way to know if we need any specialty clubs here, but we will find that out. All right. Make sure I should have my normal bag. Yep. Okay, we're good. All right, so right off the bat, it looks like a pretty standard hole one. So strategy here is going to be just to give myself the straightest wind I can get. Don't think I care too much about distance. Let's just kind of one out there on the left side of the fairway, straightish wind in, give ourselves a chance, start this thing with a hole out. All right. Don't hate this. See, all right, not too bad. I like to at least get points on that one, but not gonna complain too much. Hole number two. Okay, we've got a rock surrounded par four, short par four. Um, Trees in our way off the tee. Looks like the only thing we really need to worry about is this first tree here on the right. Staying left of that. Otherwise, I think this is your classic go over everything shot. And can't tell if those second trees are going to require a high tee. Nine wood, probably. Oh, all right. So we're just going to basically hit this one straight. Probably going to leave ourselves a fairly long putt, but can live with that. And then, as always, the real challenge for me is just making straight putts. This is a locked condition code, so everyone you see on the leaderboard is playing the exact same setup as I'm playing. So you can see just how poorly I do relative to my peers. I'm just gonna try to back this one in, get a little bit past it, 5 iron. Yeah, draw it back. Too much, but right idea. Hole four, okay. It's looking a little more interesting now. Definitely not gonna just be able to blast this one over. So we're gonna have to work something in, probably off of this. It's like our best bet is gonna be to come off of the like bluff up here, whatever you want to call that. I don't know how that's gonna play in terms of if it's just gonna plug there, it'll bounce. If we overcut this to the left, looks like we could get a friendly. Maybe that's the play. Um, Looks like anything left is safe because it's gonna roll off that hill. So maybe we just try to be a little more aggressive to the left. This is almost a full. Six. Just got it around. Pretty poor shot there. Um, so next time I'd be looking to take a lot cut off of that. But always got a chance to save it. See if I can click chip this morning yet. Oh, not yet. Oh, that was a par five. Interesting. Okay, so that's a good chance for a double eagle. Okay, so we got some nice s- sculptures, rock formations to the right of the screen. That looks like we want to avoid at all costs. Uh, Boy, with this tree here, I don't hate just this outwind though. I don't hate high T six wood. Maybe even just try regular T. The hell, right? Just push this to the right. Yeah, it gets right over it. So as long as I didn't totally screw up my distance, that should be all right. Little fringy putt here. Helmet fringe. Oh, that's not bad. I should be able to putt this. Suck it in the bottom. Just the pros do. Okay. So at least through hole five, I feel like this is holding with kind of the 2026 difficulty level. I feel like these courses outside of Acoma are a little bit tougher than what we've seen in the past, or at least require a little bit more of you, which I like. So this one, I don't think there's really, yeah, there's no crazy slope here. So I think it's just a matter of just hugging that right wall and hitting it in the fairway. That sort of, not really. Okay. Okay. So we've got a really narrow landing spot. Anything long is going to kick back or right into the water. Not going to get a ton of spin. So I think I'm just going to push this one out. Okay. Surviving. All right. I think we're one over at this point. Missed that par five, number three, I think it was. Double eagle there. Um, so there's definitely, this is definitely going to be one where somebody's going to find a gap through these trees. It's not going to be me today. So we are going to try to go around. Okay, this is not too bad. So let's give ourselves the biggest, widest angle we can get, moving the tee, and then really hate bending the four iron. It just snaps so hard, but don't know that I have a choice. Um, Maybe we'll slow tee this nine wood and just try to kind of see if we can't land it just on the left side of this green. So a little baby, cut back in, kick it out, and then just absolutely trash shot. Okay, so needed a lot more cut there. Not gonna get super squirrely with this one. In fact, I'll just miss the green altogether. 8 iron should be 5 clicks with the sand. All right, not too much bleeding there. Two over. First time we're seeing this. Can't be too upset. All right, this one's gonna play in our gap. but with the 9 wood being a little spicier than it says and a slight outwind, I think we're okay here. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of float this one out to the right with some release and maybe hope it lands kind of where my cursor is and scoots up the hill. Yeah, close. So it looks like this is one that you're going to want to target for hole outs when you have favorable winds, favorable pins. I guess we don't know what all the pins will be yet either. Okay. All right. So now we're showing a little teeth. Um, let's do the preview from this side. So it looks like we've got fairway over here we can play to with a cut. That'll leave us a pretty easy shot in. Um, I don't think this is ever, well, shouldn't say ever, but this looks like not the play. It actually might be. Look at this. Maybe you just go over it with a high tee. We're gonna try that. I feel like you can do that. So this will be funny when it just bounces back to my feet. Did not hit it, but it was still fine. So that's definitely there. With the ball, 129, still cleared it. So at least from that tee box, I can't imagine there being a much better play. 8 iron, or sorry, 5 iron doesn't take a ton of wind. Also tends to land a little short and roll more. So I think if I just push this a little right, uh, it might, yeah, not bad. Okay, that's actually a lot easier hole than it looked like at first glance. Just go over that cliff. You're playing with some elevation now. First time really on this course that I can think of. Um, and we've got the outwind, so not gonna probably not gonna want to count on a ton of spin here. Maybe like kind of a normal amount because that downhill is gonna add and the outwind's gonna subtract. So really 386 down the hill. There's really nothing I need to worry about carrying. Really just want to make sure this gets on the green. Let's see how this goes. Okay. We've made all our putts in this round, which is a record for me. Okay. Another one where you got to either go around or over. Um, I feel like over is going to be just fine with a 9 wood. This is plenty short enough to get there. It's actually not one you're going to want to hit full. Yeah, so even that I juiced. So something even shorter than that, like 9 wood with maybe 105-ish, should put you right there. So we're either 2 or 3 over. I can't remember if I missed 2 shots on the front or one. This looks so it's just a matter of like how much. So you could certainly go high tee and you land the screen easily, give yourself an easy putt. If you can get the 8.5 to carry far enough, it might spin back a little, give yourself a closer putt. Um, that's what I'm gonna try because why not? So we got 376. Need to hit this about 135, I think. Yeah, that's about right. Nothing crazy so far. Um, Most of the ones that have looked hard are actually not that bad ones. See a little bit more. Um, all right. Downwind, uphill, downhill, uphill green. 4 iron's gonna spin like crazy. So maybe we just go bite, not get super aggressive here. Just try to land it just left of this hole. Yeah, I don't mind that. Okay. I'm wondering if this course is going to be one where they just kind of destroy you starting at hole 15. Would not be off brand 2026. Okay. Um, if I had actually looked at this before I set my tee, probably would have gone back in the tee box a little bit. Because I do think I could just hit 6 wood over this. I don't think I can from here. So let's just try something a little more interesting. I'm just gonna try and baby cut this. The wind helped me. Yeah, live with that. It's not great. On the fringe, I'm typically not gonna putt this left 6. Better players will. Um, it's just not my. I might as well. So you see there, I got a bad backswing on my click tip, which makes it just go wherever. So that was cautious strategy ruined by poor execution. Good combo. Okay. So this is like rattlesnake. Might be like rattlesnake six. There's a 15, 16. So there's almost surely a play through under. I don't think I see a play over. Um, and then your problem really here is that even once you get through, you're gonna be the green's gonna want to scoot that ball hard right. So again, this is one where the really good players are gonna figure out a reliable shot. Um, but I am going to just try to figure out something that works briefly. It's too far left. So stay dry. All right. All things considered, we can't get lucky here. Most. Okay. So I consider that kind of getting away with one. Pretty bad tee shot, but gave myself a look at Eagle anyway. Pretty easy birdie. Probably should have been in the water there. The level of tee shot I hit. All right. This is one it looks like where it's going to be pretty straightforward with Cosmos and pretty tough with Stouts. Um, at least from this tee, looks like we can get there. Just need to hit a good one, a solid one. Um, Probably push it just a touch right if I can. Let that wind and slope move it left. So didn't need the bite, although I didn't do much there. Six. Missed the putt. Of course, it's a crucial ingredient to my game. Anyway, pretty straightforward hole with Cosmos, I think. Just gotta make your putts. Okay, so we've got a narrow or a shallow green, at least where the pin is. We've got an outwind, we've got downhill. So the name of the game here is just figuring out your distance. And not getting too aggressive with the spin. You can just like on these holes, if you are a good putter and feel not good about it, you could just kind of play to the fat of the green. A lot more space to get your distance wrong over there. I am the opposite. I need short putts. So I'm gonna try see what this does. I think the downhill and the downwind, I think I can just kind of thumb this. See. Just barely. So 100 or so would have been quite nice there. 96, not so good. Almost missed that putt too. For those of you paying attention. All right. 17 done. Pretty straightforward, honestly. This feels more like a Hawk level than certainly not like a Gunnison or Alaska level, I don't think. All right. So it looks like, well, we don't know. What I don't know right now is what this surface is down here where I'm pointing, because I know I can get it on that brown surface, but is that rock where it's going to kick in? Is it sand where I'll have an easy chip? I don't know why I would play back here. This looks like an option. I'm not sure why I would do that. And it doesn't look like playing around. Playing around is looks like definitely three shots. So I think what I'll do is figure out what this is down here. Hope it's not rock. So I'm gonna try to land kind of on the left side of this brown spot, stay out of the trees if I can. So I'm gonna need to push it left pretty good with this wind. Honestly, it might even be able to get to the green with some winds, but I don't think with this one you can. More or less what I was hoping for there, so let's just see how it turns out. Not terrible, really. Like, there's nothing to worry about here. So how much wind do we think there's going to be? We know we got a good downhill. We know we're pushing right. So I'm just going to kind of be conservative-ish so that I can give myself a missable putt, which they all are. I got that one. So 26. So I think, if I remember correctly, par would have been, I think par would have been 30 on this. I missed 4 shots. Anyway, so that's Kings Canyon. I think it's going to be a fun addition. Looks like there's going to be a lot of drivable holes. We'll see what tees and looks we have. Um, but yeah,